Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the den. Legacy Internet Radio. Rock with us, y'all. 804-402-2893. Be down with the flagship show. Heard live from the den of Legacy Internet Radio.
Want to give a good shout out to my son again, McKee. He just posted that yes, she loves to dance. She loves to dance all day. Exactly. That's exactly what he typed. So thank you, McKee. Yes, I do love to dance.
McKee, now see, what I need you to do, boo, is I need you to type back while we talking. Like, did your mom try to embarrass you with like the D-Lo challenge, or did she try to do like the nay or the stanky leg? You know, something that's real old. So you gotta let us know, McKee, for real. Type back and let us know. Did your mama embarrass you, like for real? Let us know if she, you know, she the cool mama.
I'm a cool mama. He'll say my mama is cool.
Oh, okay.
I want to give another shout out to Blue Bear, Mr. Roland Deshawn from the Bronx. He just typed in, she did not. Yes. Boom. He's also a wonderful handyman, so if anybody need any type of work done around the home.
But he's in the Bronx.
No, he's from the Bronx, but he's here. Yes. He's here.
That's even better.
I want to give a shout out to Mr. Roland. He typed in, she didn't lie, Miss M is good people. So I want to say thank you, Roland, for that accolade. Also, I want to give a shout out to my kids' godmom, Tamisha Evans. Thank you, Misha. I want to give another shout out to Miss Madera Fairley, my sister from another mother. And I think that's all. I want to thank everybody, too, for sharing this. Michelle Smith, shout out to you. Sherelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes, I just want to give mad shout out. If I didn't shout you out personally, charge it to my head and not my heart. But I thank you.
You know what?
Thank you guys for all of the support.
If Maisha didn't shout you out, call up here 804-402-2893 and say Maisha did not shout me out, and we're gonna make sure that she shouts you out.
Then you can call in and shout yourself out, right?
Yeah. What's that number again?
It's 804-402-2893. So get on Maisha if she shout you out now.
Thank you, Deidre, for sharing the video as well. So yeah, it's we got some traction going on.
Yeah, we got
people actually like me.
They
must like you because they don't really like me.
They don't like us either. Yeah. Ratings been down for a while.
Yeah, they down. I bet you we see a spike, we gonna call you.
Real talk. Y'all hearing Maisha Hawkins on the #1 internet radio station around, from RVA and beyond, Legacy Internet Radio. Yes, so yes, thank everybody for you, Maisha.
Thank you. Real quick, my shout out to Dana, who keep calling me. I can't answer the phone, Shug.
Tell her to call 804-402-2893.
2893.
Look, Dana, call the house phone.
Call the house phone.
So we all can talk to you. Call the house phone, Dana.
No doubt.
Yes.
No doubt. Ain't no half stepping.
Thank you, guys.
With Marcus J. live from the den, Legacy Internet Radio. I wanted to get, before we close, and we're not going to take a lot of time in this segment so I can get you guys home. But what I want to do in this segment, last week, George Zimmerman, the man who murdered Trayvon Martin and got away with it, and Dylan Roof, the man who murdered 9 black people in a black church in South Carolina, who's now awaiting trial for it, both of them caught beatdowns. And I want to play a little bit of a clip. The clip doesn't have anything specifically to do with either of those cases. So let me just preface that. But I think the clip is very important to the narrative that we have had, a lot of us, in our discussions with our white brothers and our white sisters lately. We know that a lot of these things that keep happening are happening with cameras. And you had Will Smith last week say that nothing's changed, it's just being filmed or something along those lines, which is real cool that Will Smith said that. But many of us have been saying that. And since Will Smith said it, people wanting to pay attention, similar to when Jesse Williams said what he said at the BET Awards. Now, I will say this clip that I'm going to play has 2 words in it that I never use on the show. But I still think that it's important. So in the interest of artistry, I'm going to allow particularly that word and another word. Take a listen, and we're going to talk about it.
I got to say to white America, bravo. You guys have pulled off the world's greatest Jedi mind trick on society. Yeah. Because This notion that black men are to be feared and black men and black people are scary is hilarious to me. Because historically speaking, white people, you guys have been the most dangerous motherfuckers on the planet. You wiped out the Indians. You kidnapped niggas. You repressed us for 400 years. We get beat by the judicial system. We get beat and killed by the cops. Cam Newton is a thug, but yet you've seen videos of him giving shoes and things away to people in wheelchairs. And he's got a great smile, the most least non-threatening dude ever. When it comes to that stigma, that black people are to be feared, that is the biggest hypocrisy on the planet. Historically, y'all have been the most dangerous motherfuckers on the planet. Black people ain't never hung nobody from trees, ain't never shot nobody with water hoses, ain't never sick dogs on them, ain't never don't screw white people through the judicial system, ain't never raped, murdered, and pillaged. Come on, man.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. live from the Den Legacy Internet Radio. Caller, we saw you calling. Call us back. You were calling right as we were playing a clip. 804-402-2893. Now, once again, y'all know I don't like one of those words. The other one I use a lot, just not on the show.
And which context do you use that word?
It's every context that you think that I use it. All them.
What's his name? Is I can't think his name.
He's a comic, and
he's a comedian,
and I can't think of the brother's name. God. But you know, I wanted
that's his name.
Ari Spears. You know, I wanted to play that clip because it's about a minute and 17 seconds about the most real stuff that you will ever hear.
Is that from Vlad TV?
It's from Vlad TV.
Yes. They give awesome interviews.
Yeah, they do. Because that was real dope. Because, see, I don't think that we play that in a way of being disrespectful. I think we play that in a way of keeping it 100. White folk in this country have, like he said, pulled off this Jedi mind trick that would make you think media-wise. Right. Because the average person-to-person white person, unless you know them, you can't really speak for what they think unless they show you that they're an asshole. But they really, thank you, Said. Our brother Said is checking us out, and he's telling us that's Ari Spears. They had pulled this shit off for real. Yep. Like, seriously. And you really, even us black folk, walk around afraid of our own. When historically, they have done some really devilish shit. You got people who want to call white folks devils. I'm not one of those people, but historically, can we really argue when we talking about the history of the world, when we talking about what England has done, and we talk about what the Romans have done? Mm-hmm. Dee Dee said earlier that she likes to look at European history. All you got to do is look at that. Now, I'm supposed to forget all of that and pay attention to the last 50 years when they allowed us to vote.
Thank you.
They allowed us to own property. They allowed us to get jobs that we may lose when we live in a right-to-work state like Virginia. And so, come on now, let's not play that game. If we're going to have the honest conversation, then we're going to have the honest conversation.
Not like honest conversation.
If we're going to keep it 100, we're going to keep it 100. Ain't nobody dissing you white folk. But don't bury your head in the sand when you see George Zimmerman walk out of his house, be told by the police on the 911 tape, stand down, we got this. Right. And he still rolls up on the dude, and he, regardless of what happens in this point, and we know that Trayvon didn't attack the dude, but let's just say, for example, we ain't got to rehash the whole story, right. But we know that he was told, stay out of there, we got this. And this boy ended up dead behind it. And he got acquitted because they overcharged him. They overcharged him because they knew if they overcharged him, they wouldn't be able to convict him. First degree murder? Really? He didn't wake up that morning and say he's going to kill Trayvon Martin. That's not first degree murder. Right. Second degree, maybe. Manslaughter, definitely. But absolutely not first degree. Having said that, this dude selling gun, he going to bars, talking shit, until that one day where he talked shit to the wrong one. Because last week, they got a hold of the 911 tape where they called up. Zimmerman says a group of men recognized him at the Gators Riverside Grill and confronted him. Quote, he said he was going to kill me. You need to send like 3 or 4 cops. This is George Zimmerman. This is the tough guy, right? The Orlando Sentinel reported that Zimmerman walked by several people sitting at a table Sunday evening and complimented one man's Confederate flag tattoos. The man, Joseph Whitman, thanked him and asked him about the Trayvon Martin case. The Sentinel reported that as Zimmerman explained that he shot the unarmed team in self-defense, another man confronted him saying, "You bragging about that?" A man who identified himself as Zimmerman's friend told 911's dispatchers, quote, "George Zimmerman and I was sitting in a restaurant here eating, and 4 or 5 guys came up to us and attacked George. I tried to film it, and they knocked the phone out of my hand and down onto the deck when I was trying to film it." I got enough. I think we all got enough. First Lady, what you think when you hear this?
I just really feel that a lot of these people, especially George Zimmerman, he has really studied the laws of Florida, so he knows what he can do. Now, if you've gotten off from killing a person, then you know that you can antagonize, you can tease, you can just say stuff out of your face and not even worry about the repercussions, because you already know if you hit me and because I am who I am, I'm going to basically already say, Maisha, that's a hate crime. You hit me because of what you saw on TV. Right. So I already have that in my defense. So again, I feel that it's really sickening. Again, he will never get charged with anything unless he pulls another trigger on somebody. So he can walk around. He can even say, yes, I killed him. Ha, 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 ha. And it will be fine. And if somebody attacked him, again, he's not going to be in trouble. It's going to be you, Marcus, or Dee Dee, or Mr. 3375. So, again, we can think what we want to. Of course, we could be mad, we could be angry, but he knows how far he can take it, and which is very sad, because a lot of us that's getting angry, we don't know the laws and know that what he's doing is okay. He knows he could push it this far. Just like the whole when you charge them for murder. You know, when you bring these people up on these charges, that's not gonna stick. Just like fast forward, different case, Baltimore. All of them got acquitted, but the other 3 didn't even get charged because of the way that they charged them. So again, with Zimmerman, he will continue. Even not too long after, he got off from the Trayvon Martin case, he was in jail or back in the news. So again, I feel like he knows the laws. He's gonna push it to whatever extent he feels like he wants to, and he'll get away with it. So I feel like it's just disgusting.
Piggyback off what First Lady said, I do agree with her. I think he manipulated the system. I think he manipulated the people. I mean, you said it perfectly.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Let me stop you. Okay. We got a caller. Caller, you on the live line. Please turn your radio down. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, can you hear me? We lost the caller. Maisha, pick up where you were.
Okay. I think he manipulated the system. I think he continues to manipulate the system,
ma'am.
And I think he will continue to manipulate the system. I do believe that everybody do have their day. It's going to catch up with him. He's going to slip, unfortunately, like OJ did.
I was going to say that.
I hate to say that, but it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because people who presume themselves to be indispensable,
yes, ma'am.
They just they take on an ego. They take on a I can't be touched. I did this. Yes. I can get away with this, and that's the facade that he is actually carrying with himself.
Yes,
I think you said it perfectly. I just think that he has and will continue to manipulate the system until he slips and falls, because everybody, at some point, when you have played devil's advocate, you continue to open up Pandora's box as he has done.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
He's going to have his day.
Yeah.
He's going to have his day.
Dee Dee, what you think?
I think he didn't get the ass whipping he deserves.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it.
I totally agree with you on that.
Mr. 3375?
Should have been me at the bar.
Here's the thing that I'll say on that. Were you finished? I thought you was.
Nah, I mean, I agree with everybody else. At the end of the day, he's going to get what he deserves in the end.
Here's what I think about that, man. Here's where I get mad. Actually, before I even go there, let me just introduce the other one so that I can give this holistically. The Dylan Roof one cracks me up. First of all, Taya's listening. Taya says that they put him in protective custody when he goes to jail. They protect him but she promises one day he'll catch the beat down, which is what everybody's kind of saying.
Yes, Taya.
Let me introduce this other one, and then everybody can round table it before we go home. Dylan Roof, we know, is the man that went and sat in the church and prayed with these black people, old and young, before he pulled out his gun and murdered them. He also was arrested peacefully without harm, placed in a bulletproof vest in the back of a police car and taken to Burger King and fed and taken care of, when we have people who will say that the young man who stole a car in Chicago and rammed the police car, which is bad, but then got out of the car and ran and was shot in the back. I had someone actually say to me out of his mouth, well, out of his computer on social media, that if you don't commit felonies, then this won't happen to you. So stealing a car and ramming a police car can lead to death, but killing 9 people in a church can lead to Burger King.
It's not
So talk to me about don't talk to me about that shit for real. Anyway, Dylan Roof was in jail, and Dwayne Stafford, 26-year-old man, basically beat the brakes off of him in jail, and that's a hood term for those folks that don't know what that means. It means you got ass kicked. And here's the cool part of the story, Maisha. Dwayne Stafford was in there since January of 2015 on a $100,000 bond, and after he beat the brakes off of Dylan Roof, the hood responded and paid his commissary and his bond. You know, Dwayne Stafford got out this week.
I thought I saw something about that, a GoFundMe or something happened where people put up the money for his bond.
Yeah, man. He been in there for almost 2 years, man. He been in there since January of 15, and the hood responded. The hood said, you know what? Wow. Thank you for beating the brakes off this dude.
Look, but guess what?
And he's out.
They do it for them. They were collecting money for him to get him, you know, with his defense, because his lawyer just filed a couple of weeks ago to get him out of jail.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
They collected money for him.
It was
No, I'm glad you said that.
Stafford.
It was the same thing with George Zimmerman.
But it's the same thing with all of them. It's the same
money
thing
to get
with
them out.
It's the same thing with the cop that killed Mike Brown. It's the same thing with the cop in South Carolina that you got on video shooting the fleeing dude in the back, and I can't remember the guy's name. It's the same thing with the cop who killed Eric Garner in New York. It's always the same thing. It's one of those things where I come on the radio every single week and I lament the fact that our people don't take care of our people. We just don't. We can get mad and we can complain and we can fuss and march and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, put your money where your mouth is. Now, I'm not going to sit here and defend Dwayne Stafford because whatever reason he went to jail in January 2015, he's got some pretty serious charges. It is what it is. His family wasn't able to put up the money, or maybe they said he going to learn, let his ass sit, because we all know that family as well. So who knows what his story is. But here's what I wanted to bring up. We got all these tough guys, y'all. We got gang members. We got blood and cuz. You know what I mean? We got cats that walk around strapped, not in a legal way. We got all of these guys that talk this stuff. And you mean to tell me it took till now for George Zimmerman to catch a two-piece? Like, for real? Like, you a tough guy. You in the hood. The brother step on your shoe, you want to fight. We had an incident right here in Richmond, Virginia, where a cat got killed over a pair of Jordans right here in Richmond.
He didn't get killed.
He got shot.
Yeah, he got shot.
Okay, he got shot. My apologies. Somebody shot him over some sneakers, but we know those stories where people do get killed over sneakers.
Yes.
But ain't nobody walk up on George Zimmerman yet. Now, I'm not calling for this man to be killed. I don't never call for nobody to be killed. But what I am asking is, we got a lot of tough guys that's standing up to their own for nonsense. When you got somebody who's actually done something, how many of these brothers, these same brothers, been in the barbershop, been in the backyard, been sipping and smoking and being like, man, if I roll up on this dude, I'm going to take him down. And then you see him in the bar and you just act like, you just growl at him. You just make mean faces at him.
But I just really feel like, again, as much as we despise this man, he is very intelligent. He is a smart man, because I really feel like that he knows how to make sure that his surroundings aren't in a danger to him. So I'm pretty sure he didn't go to an all-black bar and say that about Trayvon Martin. You know what I'm saying? No. So he's still in Stanford or wherever he lives. So I'm pretty sure where he goes, he's aware of his surroundings. So basically where he goes is going to make sure it's a majority of white than black. Somebody who was with him on the killing, you know. So I really feel like that he's very, he's very easy and conscious of where he goes. You know, I really, like, again, I don't think he's going to come to Atlanta and say no stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh no, not on the South Side, no way. So I feel like he's smart.
Yeah.
Just like, again, we look at these people and these criminals who do these things like the mass shootings. These people are intelligent. You have some of these people who have master's degrees in engineering. I mean, like the killer from the Colorado shooting for the theater. These kids, these people are smart.
Yeah.
So, you know, it may be dumb in their actions of what they're doing, but they're intelligent. Like, for real,
No,
brain wise. You might call them crazy, but they smart for real.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You know, it's just, it's frustrating for me that, you know, Eric Rudolph can blow up, you know, abortion clinics, but when they catch up with him, he gets walked out in a bulletproof vest. And Ted Kaczynski can beat a Unabomber for 30 years, and he gets walked out in a bulletproof vest. And Timothy McVeigh, who, of course, was eventually executed, the same with him. You know, but you get, you know, white people that we know and love and work with and fellowship with who have such a systematic racism about them that they don't even realize they have it.
Yes.
And when you point it out to them, they call you a race baiter.
Yep.
When you can sit and justify and actually say out of your mouth, if you wasn't committing a felony, this wouldn't have happened to you. When you know that, yeah, I rammed a police car. That's bad. And I should probably go to jail for a very long time. But I got out of the car and I started running. And in the course of me running, you shoot me in the back. Anybody who's grown up watching movies, particularly Western movies, you know what they call a person that shoots a person in the back?
Coward.
They call him a coward.
Yep.
Right.
Coward.
A bitch, exactly. And so it just blows me sometimes when I hear these things, and it's like, you know, I don't even know what to say. I get frustrated. You know, we had a Foreign Light show, so I don't want to mess it up. But I definitely wanted to make sure that we got some of that out, because the reality is I'm not trying to call for anybody to be hurt or harmed. That's not how I am. Love is my religion. But the reality is you got a lot of brothers and sisters that's tough guys in the hood that's, you know, worrying about what somebody might have said to them, or the side eye that they might have caught, or you know, maybe somebody bumped into their car, so now you want to shoot them, and all of this kind of, you want to, you know, fight and all of this stuff. Whereas you got people who actually did something to you or yours, and you a punk. Why? Because they white. Because I get so sick and tired of the average black folk person that's scared of white people. When white people are around, they whisper white people, or they whisper black people.
Yo, you got on me for that. Like, yeah, like we have literally him, myself, and Jay Grizzy, another co-host of the show. We've been out, and I've actually done that, like whisper white people, and he's been like, "Don't whisper that. Say it out loud." And I'm like, "No, I really don't want to. I don't know why, but I don't want to. I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. What is that? What is that? The reason why I don't want to say that out loud.
It's the fear of the confrontation of confronting differences. There's nothing wrong with being white, and there's nothing wrong with being black. What's wrong is to think if you're white, you're right and superior. That's what's wrong. What's wrong is thinking because you're black, you're whack. That's what's wrong. We are so systematically brainwashed in this country because of the founding of this country and how it was set up, that this thing has gone on for far longer than any of us was even alive. You know, when you talk about the first people being brought here in the 14 and 1500s, they weren't considered white people, even though they were. This was something that happened later on when they started selling people. Now, yeah, we know black people in Africa was part of that. We know black people sold black people to white people. We get all of that. White folk try to justify their shit by reminding you of that. But we know that too. You know what I mean? But you're going to really place the blame on them when you're the one here that's perpetuating it for years after years, after generation after generation, after century after century. Cut the bullshit. Like, really, cut it.
Right.
Like, let's have the real conversation.
Exactly.
You've had a 400-year head start. Now, ain't nobody playing victim. I'm just speaking what's real. So if you're going to have the real conversation about what we're going to do to fix what's going on, then let's have the real conversation. You confront your shit. I'm going to confront mine, and let's move on from there. But don't sit here and tell me that I'm victim, and I'm trying to make you, feel sympathy. I don't need your sympathy. I don't want that. I just want you to treat me and mine fairly. Right. That's it. I want you to treat me and mine fairly and show your brethren who don't treat me and mine fairly that this is what needs to happen. All of this, pull yourself on your bootstraps. Man, please, you started with your boots on. I'm walking barefoot.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So let's cut the crap. I'm gonna step off the soapbox, take a break. Marcus J and the crew. Be back in a few.
Let me just say this real quick. Did you already? Sorry. Oh, my bad. No, I was just piggybacking on what you were saying because Teo, she was laughing at you and she was like, "Yeah, Marcus, you shouldn't have to whisper white people." So
I never do that.
She was like, "You're right."
I absolutely never do that, and I don't think anybody should ever do that. I don't think white people should whisper black people.
I don't either.
Like, why are we scared to acknowledge differences? Like,
look, Taya said, "I ain't whispering nothing, Marcus." You're right.
Tell Taya that she need to scream it, just like everybody else.
So
scream it. Just because no, that's cool. Because we needed to get that comment in the segment because it's real. The reality is, again, I'm gonna take this break and step off the soapbox, but that's the thing that really frustrates me, and that's the reason why here on this show and on this station we have a voice, right? And we're going to use our voice, and we're going to open the floor for anybody who wants to be a part of the solution to have a voice. If you want to come in here and you want to perpetuate white supremacy, this ain't the place for you. If you want to come here and you want to say all white people are devils, this ain't the place for you. It's just not the place for you. If you want to come here and you want to speak on what that Constitution actually says, and you want to purport to actually do what it says and say that all men are created equal, then we might be able to have a conversation. But we also have to acknowledge that Constitution was written for and by white men.
And in that Constitution, it says that black men were 3/5 property. So,
white men, men,
I know,
men, not white women, because white women was just a step above black folk. You know what I mean? Something. Yeah. So it is what it is. All right, I'm gonna really step off my soapbox. Marcus J and the crew. Thank y'all for checking us out on Facebook Live. I see Amanda is checking us out, and our brother Jay Grizzy. Bring your ass back home. Be back in a few.
Hey.